We're back now, 8:49, with one of the most respected men in the NFL. New York Giants head coach Tom Coughlin has led his team to 2 Super Bowl titles. Now he's using his success on the field to help people in any field with a new book. It's called Earn the Right to Win. Coach, always good to have you here. Nice to see you. Matt. Before I get to some of the points you make in the book, and you make a lot, 4 main ones, but a lot, let me talk about you, all right? You have been called a tough taskmaster. You've been called a hard ass, pardon me. Fair assessment?
Fair.
Yeah,
in the beginning,
why?
Because it had to be that way, Matt. In the beginning, a couple of the opportunities that I had, you don't come in soft, you come in hard. You have to come in hard. You have to establish who you are, what you believe in, what your rules are, how you want your team to conduct it. For example, in Jacksonville, we had people from all walks of life, street free agents, draft choices, UFAs. We had the whole thing. But we had to put them together and into one.
One of your former star defensive players, Michael Strahan, who writes the prologue for the book, says when he first met you, Coach, he hated you and your rules, but by the time he retired, he loved them. Do you think secretly most people in sports or in business like structure?
Oh, no question. They want discipline. They want structure. Professional athletes definitely want structure and discipline. They may resist it. They may not share it that way in the locker room, but they do want it that way. And they're the first ones to point out when things are not professional.
Let's talk about in business. You want people to use their time efficiently. You tell a story when you got released from Jacksonville. You had a year off, but you didn't just sit on your butt feeling sorry for yourself. You went and scouted players. You talked to coaches and owners. Relate that for me to someone who might be unemployed right now.
Well, if you're out there and you don't have a job, you've got to be prepared for when you do get that opportunity. You don't know when it's coming, but you must be up to date. You've got to know what's going on. To relate it to me, I wanted to know the players coming out of the draft. I wanted to know what was going on in the league.
So an owner couldn't say that. Coughlin's been out of it for a year. He doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't know what he's
talking about. If they ask me a pertinent question, I want to answer it, and I want to be up to date. And I want to use that energy also because I believe in structure. Just as we state in the book, I want to be there to be in position to take advantage of whatever comes my way.
You are a stickler for punctuality. I mean, if you're not on time unless you're 5 minutes early. There's a story about a couple of Jacksonville players who knew that you fined players for not being at practice on time. They got in a car rushing back to practice not to be fined, got in an accident. After the accident, you fined them anyway.
I did.
Why?
I did because I had warned them. They were both rookies. And I had told them over and over again, if you're in the south and it's a rainstorm, it's like being in the north in the snow. You got to leave earlier to get there on time. Now, would I do that today? No, I wouldn't do that today.
But
in that point in time, I did want that point stressed.
And you do meticulously plan every minute of your day. Did you say one time that you planned bathroom breaks a week ahead?
Yeah, but then they came back and it was a day.
A day ahead, just a day ahead. Let's talk about paying attention to detail. Relate that to someone in the workforce.
Well, what happens there is the details of how you go about your business. For example, the way we study in the game of football is to meticulously break down the opponent, to know exactly what the opposition is all about. I think when you're in the workforce, if you're out of work and you're trying to get back in, you've got to be in position where you know exactly what you're going for, but what you're up against from the opposition as well.
The last one you have that I want to talk about is establish trust and honest communication. This one sounds a lot harder.
It's tough
to accomplish. First of all, trust in workplaces where there are egos at play. Everybody wants to get ahead. And honest communication, how do you feel about too much communication? How do you feel about someone who comes to you and says, Coach, I think you're wrong about this, even though you're my boss?
Yeah, well, that's okay if it's in the right circumstance. If they want to come and talk to me in private about something that's been said or done, I'm fine with that. But it doesn't mean I'm going to agree with them. But I want that door open. I want them to feel that way. The trust is developed, I think, when your players realize that you're human and you do care about them. That was one of the big points that Strahan made. When I did show them there was no ego involved, I had no other motive but to win, and I did care, and I was concerned about our players, our relationship grew.
This set of rules, this my way or the highway attitude, if you translate that into a business, isn't it possible that that kind of strict structure will crush born leaders at a lower level?
I don't think so. I think they'll rise up. I think you do have to have some degree and some measure of accommodation along with anything that you say. But people need to know where they stand, what they're up against, what the rules are, what is expected of them right away in order for them to grow. I don't agree with the the loose ship deal. I think that they need to start out with structure.
It's an interesting book, and it applies to a lot of different fields, not just the playing field.
It
Coach,
certainly
good to
does.
have you here.
Thank you, Matt.
Good luck in the coming season. And the book, again, is called Earn the Right to Win.